Hi, you're joining Grandma again, and if you have leftover roast and you want to make something really creative and delicious with it, step into my kitchen because we just made an amazing dish and I want to share it with you. Hi, it's Grandma Roseanne, and this is just an inspired dish. And I just pulled everything out of my refrigerator because what I had done is I made this outrageously beautiful roast beef roast that we had, and it was wonderful. But I ended up with all this meat left over. So can I make sandwiches? Of course. Can I make an Italian beef or a French dip? Of course, but it gets boring. So I wanted to just kind of see what we can do with what we might have on hand and create something outrageous. That's what we're doing. So it's going to be a broccoli, beef, with an Asian flavoring to it, and noodles. It can't be bad with all those good things. So what I have done is I got everything ready. And I know you don't need to watch me chop up stuff. So I have here about a half of an onion that I left in. I didn't mean to leave the root on there. Oh. All right, get that root out of there. That I have left in like slices like this because I like the way it appears in the dish. And then I have, I don't know, a handful like this, because this is what I had in my refrigerator, of broccoli, which I just cut into florets. Then I have a red and a yellow pepper. You can use green peppers if you prefer them. I just prefer the lighter colors because they're a softer flavor. And then I julienne some carrots, and we are going to throw those into a wok. Now, if you don't have a wok, this is not a deal breaker. Just use a skillet. It'll be perfectly fine. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have 1 clove of garlic here, which I have minced. Got to have garlic in the dish. Now to my pan, which is smoking hot, I put in about 2 tablespoons of oil, and I'm going to start out, if I can get to my vegetables, I'm going to start out with the onions. Yikes! And we're just going to saute those and soften them up a little bit. Now these have had just a couple of minutes of head start. I'm going to throw in all of the peppers. Now I'm going to add the garlic. Want to be sure not to add the garlic too soon because you don't want it to burn. Oh, so good. It smells so good. All right, now that I know that it's fragrant, I can smell it. I know it's doing what it needs to do. I'm going to throw in the broccoli. And I use the stems too, you guys. What I did is I just used a potato peeler, cut the edge off, cut the woody section at the end off, and then use those because they're delicious, really delicious. Now, now I'm going to add the carrots. And because they're julienne, they only take just a couple of minutes. And as you're watching, always watch your food. As you're watching it, if it looks like it's getting a little bit dry, like mine does right now, just give it a little bit of love with the oil. This not only smells magnificent, you guys, it looks magnificent. Oh, and yes, for those of you that are watching, I am a Chiefs fan. Football has started, and I am a crazy lady when it comes to the Chiefs. Love them. Okay, I think that is about as good as it's going to get. So I'm just going to transfer it because I want to continue to use my wok. Okay, I'm going to heat up just a little bit more oil. And while my oil is heating, I'm going to deal with my roast. Now, again, I already have cooked this, so if you're using raw meat, you're going to need to take time to cook the meat, but I'm just using up what I had. I have a pound here of roast beef, and I still have enough for a couple of very nice sandwiches. Now, when I slice this, I sliced it this thin and long. I don't want pieces that long in it, so I'm just gonna go in and just give it a rough chop. And I may have a little bit too much meat here, but I'm just going to test it and see how I feel about it. I just want to have enough meat in proportion with all my vegetables. And I think I can use a little bit more. So maybe like 3/4 of a pound is what I've got in here. Now I'm going to move the meat, which is nice and warmed and very tender. It was such a delicious roast, you guys. And now it's time for the sauce. I'm going to start out with some garlic. And just a second or two after it hits your hot skillet or your wok, as soon as you smell it, right now, it was what, like 20 seconds? Then in goes a 1/2 cup of soy sauce. Six tablespoons of brown sugar. And we're just gonna cook this until the sugar dissolves. Our sugar is dissolved, so what I'm going to do now is put in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch because I want to thicken this sauce. And now I switched over to a whisk. It doesn't take but just a couple of minutes and this will be very nice and thick. All right, now that has thickened up nicely. I'm going to add all of our vegetables back in. My goodness, this looks delicious. And I'm going to add the warm meat back in. And of course, it's very acceptable to serve this over rice. However, what I did, I cooked some ramen noodles and I cooked it in the seasoning packet. And I am going to add those. Now I drained them because I really didn't want a lot of more water in here than what we had. You could use any kind of noodle you wanted in this. Mix that in good. Ooh, this is gonna be fun to eat. I don't think I need the rest of those noodles. They won't go to waste. All right. Well, I think it's time to plate and eat. Time for the fruits of our labor. This smells fantastic. The only other thing I would have added, and I didn't have any in my vegetable bin here, but I would have loved mushrooms in this. I think mushrooms would have been an amazing addition to this. All right, bon appetit. That is so good. You can taste the vegetables and the ginger, and the sauce is outrageously good. And most everything I already had in my refrigerator bin. So thank you for watching. Come back, subscribe, hit the like button. I'm gonna leave, well, I'll leave the ingredients below, but really, it's just vegetables. But I will especially leave the ingredients for the sauce, okay? So have a wonderful day, and I'm so happy you joined me for this period of time. Bye now.